In this lecture, we'll be adding our first enemy to our timeline. I think it'd be pretty cool if right around this point of our timeline, we bank around the corner, and then right around this point, we have an enemy basically flying towards the ship on this straightaway that you either have to shoot or dodge. The first thing we'll want to do is create another enemy in our hierarchy. So let's go ahead and do that. Create an empty game object, and let's just call this enemy. We'll create a few different enemies shortly. For now, we're just playing around and making sure we understand how things work. So with our base enemy created, let's right click and create another empty game object that we'll just call model. And let's head into imported assets to choose our first enemy model. So game dev TV spaceships, models. I'm just going to use something pretty basic for the first one while we're explaining how this works. And let's just drag in this base red fighter model that I have here. You can drag in whichever one you'd like, but I think that this is going to be about the appropriate size. I'm going to make sure that this is zeroed out on my position for both my model itself and the actually empty game object model. And with that created, we can essentially start animating that using the timeline. So I'm going to shift this spaceship. Let's actually just close out our game view for a little bit to make this a little bit easier to see. And put this enemy spaceship right around where we'd want to start it animating. With our timeline open, with our master timeline clicked, I'm just going to lock this again so we don't actually lose it. This time, let's just drag our enemy game object directly into our timeline. We'll get this nice little pop-up prompt asking us which sort of track we want to create. Let's just create another animation track just like we did before. I'm going to bring back my game view just so we can actually see what it looks like while we're flying our spaceship. And here's the real power of the timeline, being able to animate our enemy while holding perspective of the player scrubbing back and forth through the timeline. So I think the enemy ship is going to come roughly into view right around when we bank this first turn. Now, again, I can't stress enough, you don't need to do exactly what I'm doing. Your terrain is going to look a little bit different. Just kind of get the general flow for what we're doing. At this point, with my enemy clicked, I'm going to go ahead and hit the record button. And just like before, I'm going to right-click position in my transform and add a key for my starting point. Scrubbing along, I just want to make sure the enemy spaceship somewhere around this point flies past our player spaceship. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to drag my enemy spaceship along this point. We can actually even lower it down a tad just to make sure it's kind of running into our enemy spaceship to cause that sort of collision effect we're trying to give our player experience. So it's flying across, maybe right around there. And then I'm just going to drag this further along and just kind of make sure it gets way out of the view of our player. So I'm just going to drag it way off into the terrain. You could probably even go further, but I think that's going to achieve the effect I was looking for. Let's just scrub along one more time while we're still recording just to see what it looks like. So yep, we've got our spaceship flying right past our player. And I think that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and hit play on our timeline directly just to see what that looks like. So I'll unhit record. We'll fly around this corner. We'll say something like, "Commander, enemy spaceships incoming," or something along those lines. Our spaceship flies through and we'll be basically forced to either blow it up with our gun that we're about to set up or just dodge it, which will introduce us to this lecture's challenge. Add your first enemy to your master timeline using a second animation track, as we've just done as an example. Now, get as creative as you'd like if you'd like to add in some twists and turns and rotation, but I'd ask that for now, just hold off on animating more than just one enemy. In the lectures to follow, we'll be talking a little bit more about prefabs, prefab variants, and adding full waves that we can use to our timeline. So add just one enemy, pause the video, and I'll see you back here in a few moments. Welcome back. I can't wait to see what you come up with setting up your first enemy. I think it's finally time we set up some player input in the next lecture. When you're ready to move on, I'll see you there.